Hi, my name is David King. I come from Vancouver, Canada, and I'm a vice president of an ocean shipping company. I came to India, specifically Bangalore, to look after a stricture that I had in my urethra. And it was a fairly complicated procedure, but I really wanted to make sure I made the right choice. I wrote to 4 or 5 hospitals, and I probably found that Apollo was the most responsive to my needs. I underwent something called operation to repair a stricture in my urethra. This particular treatment I had done it in Canada many years ago, and more recently I just really wanted to get it over with in a relatively short period of time. So that was my motivation for looking elsewhere to get it done. And that takes, traditionally in Canada, the wait time for medical procedures is significantly longer than some other places. If you look at the doctors that treated me, they were second to none. I don't think I could have got better treatment in Canada. And I say that with some sincerity because the treatment that I got, I think it probably relies on having a lot of experience doing it. And I think that the clinical incidence of these type of surgeries in India would be far exceed that of Canada or the US for that matter. As far as communicating with the doctor before I came here, he gave me a little bit of his resume and what he had done before, and he had actually studied in Canada and spent a number of years in a couple of places in Canada, so he was quite familiar with the Canadian medical system. So that gave me a little bit of comfort in itself. I think it's a big step for anybody to decide to go to a foreign country to do something, and Apollo did really look after that well. I felt like the schedule was properly entertained before I came. I knew what I was coming for. I got here, there was an orderly transfer when I arrived at the airport. They took me to the hospital immediately. The next day we started doing things. The people were polite, they were caring, and frankly it was more than pleasant. In terms of the actual staff at the hospital and the facilities at the hospital, they were very good. The nursing staff was polite and caring. The catering was fabulous. I thought it was really good. If I were to go back home in Canada and be asked about my experience in India and whether I could recommend it to somebody else to undergo a surgery in somewhere as far away as India, I could certainly say that I'd be prepared to recommend Apollo Hospitals. They treated me well. They delivered what they had set out to, and I came away happy. Sort of in closing, with Apollo, they delivered what they said they would, and they exceeded my expectations. And I think that's all you can ask of any good product.